What is going on, everyone? Average Player here. This is Maliss deck profile, basically new from, well, when I went to the regional. I didn't play too well. I actually was bricking quite often, but the deck also wasn't complete like it should be, because I got like last minute cards for the deck at the regional. So yeah, and I really didn't know exactly what I was doing, so I've been practicing a lot lately with the specific build and stuff like that. And there's cards that you just don't play anymore because there's cards that are better, especially in this deck. Mostly in the extra deck. In the main deck, we'll talk about cards that you don't play anymore either. But this is a 3-engine deck. It's Maliss, Cash Tier, and Fiendsmith. In the Cash Tier engine, really, your opponent knows you're on Maliss. They lance you just go, okay, special summon Unicorn, search Birth, activate Birth, whatever. Or you special summon Fenrir, search Unicorn. If you have Birth in hand, you just activate Birth, normal Unicorn, go into Moon, go full Fiendsmith combo, right? So, because at that point, the board's under Lancia. They can't really stop your Fiendsmith stuff unless they Ash to Requiem. But at that point, it's like, okay, special back Unicorn and pass. And that's going to be probably good enough, if I'm going to be honest. So we're going to get into it. For those of you who are new to the deck, my deck profiles, it's the main engine, which is Maliss. So it's going to be monsters, spells, then traps for the main engine. And then it's going to do the same thing with the sub-engines, and it's going to go hand traps, and then basically whatever spells and traps that are left in the deck. And so two of those, they're at 2. 2 mouse, it's at 2, 3 Chessie, and 3 hair, because you want to see the Maliss names that you can when you can. This is a must play. March Hair is a must play. 2 underground, 1 mirror is a must play. GWC MTP, TB11 actually isn't really good anymore. And my opinion to that is that, say you need a dodge, right? So like say you need to go from a Dormouse to a White Rabbit, well, and your opponent's going to imperm. TB11 isn't really good in that situation, because TB11 will get out your White Rabbit, but it negates its effects, right? So you're still banishing your Dormouse, but White Rabbit's effects will be negated. And the same thing if you summon something from the extra deck, its effects will be negated, and it can't attack. So I'm not a big fan of it, because you want your effects in this deck, because with everything being cut down, like the White Rabbits are at 2, the Dormouse is at 2, that the Underground's at 2, that you want your effects to go, because they're really necessary now. And there's a card in this deck that I am playing that basically is like, okay, we want to try to make sure our effects are working. But yeah, the next package, I mean, it's basically the Cyber stuff, 2 backup, 1 Wizard, 1 Codicil. Codicil is necessary. We don't play IP in the extra deck, so Codicil is necessary, especially when you're getting Lancia. Next, the Fiendsmith package. It's going to be 3 Engraver, because we want to see it. 1 Crimson Tears, 1 Tract, which I don't have. The Sanct, Lurie, Paradise. So if we had Tract, which I'm just going to be borrowing one on Sunday, when because Kaival and I are going to be recording locals on Sunday, each from our own perspectives. I will have a Tract in the deck. I will be borrowing one. So yeah, normal Fiendsmith package. You don't have to play Paradise, but if need be, right? Say you don't go full Fiendsmith combo, right? And you just know that you're not going to be able to, like, you say you're under Lancia Droll, which would suck. Having the Paradise sent to your graveyard off Lacrima is still really good, because on your opponent's turn, you can banish the Paradise, send the Desiree, and still get a send-off, and as another form of interruption. Technically, you don't have to play the Sanct, but it comes up when you first draw phase Sanct, and you get a monster out. So, and it's a light fiend, so I mean, I play Sanct in any Fiendsmith package that I have. I feel like it's necessary. Cash Engine, 2 Unicorn, 1 Fenrir, 1 Wraith Soft, 1 Birth. basic cash tier stuff. I mean, you could play 3-2, but I don't like it. You see one of these, you're fine, especially with how much drawing you generally do in the deck, which you don't need to do all that drawing. It's just good because you can do a whole bunch of drawing without your normal summon and then get the Fenrir off. And the cash tier cards literally are just used to go into the Fiendsmith package most of the time in this deck. So then you always have a Link 2 on board. You can make Link 3s easier, yada yada yada, and then you can still end on with a Unicorn on your field for an extra form of interruption and Birth to be another, white binder for you. Next, hand traps. Not playing many. 3 Ash, 3 Imperm, 1 Called By, 1 Crossout. I don't play any Charmies. I feel like I don't need to. Did I also think was part of my disadvantage at the regional? I don't think so. You know how many times I've Ashed a Charmy at the regional and they didn't really have anything else and I just full comboed? And the only reason why I lost most of the time was because of myself. But I also didn't have the full deck done and access to all my cards. So I was also playing at a big disadvantage. But for the rest of the cards, 3 Mining, 1 Allure. Shout out Crush cards. And for the signing of the Allure. And then shout out to Coder for the signing of the Code of Soul. Oh, also those of you who are returning to the channel, I'm not going to be doing a side deck today because that's still under construction. I'm still trying to figure it out. So yeah, that'll be something that is going to be appearing at some other point. But the extra deck is something I have figured out. So 1 Red Ransom, 1 White Binder, 1 Cryptor. I went from 2 White Binder to 1 because of the extra deck space, because I added the Fiendsmith package in. And if I didn't add in the Fiendsmith package, I would be playing 2 White Binder. It would be 2 White Binder, another IP. It would be IP, and then, maybe SP, stuff like that. But I'm playing the Fiendsmith package, so I only have 1 White Binder. 1 Linger Rebo, which is necessary. I feel like if you want to play the Charmies right and you want to play around it, Linger Rebo, you play it too, because you summon adding this during, you just leave him on board. Tribute it, and it's cost, right? Yep, you tribute it for cost, chain a Charmy, and then summon this out. So you could always do that if you have 2, because you're just going to generally use it throughout the combo because you are playing also adding Mister cards. 1 Link Spider. Some people don't play this anymore, and I feel like it's really good. I had an end board where I had backup in my hand with +1 random card, and it was like, okay, I get nibbed here at the end of the board, right? Like, as soon as Arrival Cybers, it's not Arrival Cybers, Allied Code Talker adding Nister. As soon as he hits the board, right, my opponent nibs would be the smart thing to do, right? Because that's the end of the board. That's like the last thing you make. And I can go, okay, make Link Spider, activate backup, summon, keep going, and end on probably, I could end on a Heat Soul Pass, and then try to get it to cheese out Heart's Cryptor after I draw a bunch of cards, because I still had cards in my my Spell and Trap card zone. So I still feel like this card is hella relevant. It's still really good. Wit Kid, and I will be getting an upgrade for this when the OTS comes out. Splash Mage, it's still necessary. You got to play it. Wit Kid, I will explain Wit Kid because I don't play Haggard. Wit Kid is Haggard on drugs for this deck because it banishes a Cybers from your graveyard and searches a tuner, and backup at Ignister happens to be a tuner. And then also, this Link Summon card cannot be destroyed by card effects. Cybers monster this card points to cannot be destroyed by card effects. And the banishes cost on it, which I just double checked to read it. The banishes cost just like on Haggard. So yeah. No, 1 Heat Soul, as I was talking about, I feel like Heat Soul is necessary. It's actually a good end board card because you can still use it, go into a Rival Cybers, summon it out, get a draw off before you use a negate for it, which is still good. You got Fireball Dragon, Access Code, Arrival Cybers, Moon, Desi, Requiem, Sequence, because this is just normal Fiendsmith stuff. So yeah, like I said, you take these 4 cards out, right? You don't play the Fiendsmith package. You play more hand traps. You play a second White Binder. You'd play IPSP, so that's 3. And then you probably could fit in, instead of SP, you could play like Nightmare Cerberus, something like that, and a Bow. Stuff like that, but I just don't feel like that's really that good anymore. This is all just basically like these 3, normal Malice. Some people don't play Cryptor anymore. I love it. Ling, you have to play Spider, you have to play Enwick Kid. All these cards here are a must play, including Splash Mage. The cards that you don't have to play, you don't have to play Heat Soul. And you don't have to play the Fiendsmith package. And that's me being honest. It took me a while to interpret the Fiendsmith package in here. I didn't think it was good. And then, well, I did some play testing with it and it ended up being amazing. For the main deck, there wasn't really anything I personally would take out. I mean, if you get another backup, that can just fit right in here, I guess. If there's an engine that I would take out, it is the cash package. If you're not comfortable playing the cash cards, I would take out the cash package to play more hand traps. Put the Charmies in there, because it's, 6 cards? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 5 cards, so you can fit like Charmies in there, or Drolls, whatever it might be. But that's it for the video, and I did keep it at 10 minutes, which is pretty good. If this video gets to, let's say, 10 likes, I will do a combo tutorial for it, and then try to explain my thought processes and the way I think of the deck. Because I do like this deck as a really combo-heavy deck. My combos may be seen as straightforward sometimes, but there's a lot of times where I commit to plays that are a little out there, you know? So most of my plays I make are kind of ballsy, and then I wonder why they don't work. But, yeah, I hope you guys have a good day. See you later.